Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here with a look at the heat for the middle part of this week, and then we'll take a quick look towards the holiday weekend because better weather is on the way. High temperatures Tuesday afternoon. It was warm for sure. Upper 80s and low 90s across the valley. 89 in Sacramento, 91 in Stockton, 87 Modesto, 86 in Tracy, 87 Fairfield and Vacaville, 86 Marysville, 79 in Auburn, 77 Placerville, 82 in Jackson, 69 in South Lake Tahoe, and 70 in Truckee. The average high in the valley for the time of year is actually in the low 80s, so we are running about 8 degrees or so warmer than normal. Tomorrow, the average high is 82, but we are going to be even warmer. We're going into the low to mid 90s across the valley. For Sacramento, temperature is about 11 degrees warmer than normal for Wednesday. 93 in Sacramento, 93 in Elk Grove, 93 Stockton, 94 Manteca, 93 in Modesto, 93 Marysville Wednesday afternoon, 96 up in Colusa, 93 in Oroville, 87 over in Clear Lake and Santa Rosa, 67 out in the Bay, and then 80s in the foothills, 86 in Auburn, 82 Placerville, 87 Jackson, 88 in Angels Camp, 87 Sonora, 70 in South Lake Tahoe, and 72 in Truckee. This is the peak of this warm-up, though, because as we start working towards the weekend, temperatures are going to drop. To start Wednesday, we are going to see a slight wind out of the north, but then by the time we get to the afternoon, a pretty nice delta breeze develops, and a very similar pattern is coming for Thursday as well, although the delta breeze may be even a bit stronger for Thursday evening with gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour across the valley. I do want to say the hottest day we've had so far this year is 94. That was on May 9th and May 10th in Sacramento. The forecast tomorrow is 93, so we are going to be very close to the hottest day of the year so far. And if the forecast, if the actual temperature comes in 1 or 2 degrees warmer than the forecast high, then we're going to be looking at temperatures the hottest that we've seen so far this year. And along with hot temperatures, and as we move into the summertime, one of those things is just fire potential. While there's not necessarily elevated or high fire danger this week, there is certainly just baseline fire danger because it's warm. We have the low relative humidity in the afternoons. We also have the breezes in the evening. All those things just kind of combines to raise that fire potential this time of year. And of course, the drying fuels in the valley, right? So the dry valley fuels, the afternoon humidity, 15 to 30% this weekend, delta breezes each day, just means there is kind of that baseline fire danger that's creeping higher and higher. And this is normal for the time of year. There's nothing that's really triggering higher fire danger by itself. There's nothing where it's super gusty or it's really low humidity. It's just, normal fire danger moving into the summer, just something we need to be mindful of, and especially true when we have temperatures in the 90s and eventually temperatures in the triple digits. So Wednesday, peak of the heat, we're going to be in the low to mid 90s in the valley, running more than 10 degrees above normal for the time of year, but then temperatures drop headed into the holiday weekend. Thursday, just 4 degrees warmer than normal in the mid 80s. By Friday, we're going to be right near seasonal in the low 80s, back into the mid to upper 80s for Saturday and Sunday, but that's still within about 5 degrees of normal for the time of year. Sometimes these Memorial Day weekends can be very hot in the 90s. Sometimes they can be a little on the cooler side. This upcoming holiday weekend, though, very seasonal. Looks very nice. No real weather issues for holiday plans or holiday travel. So we look at the weather pattern, though, we are going to notice that things start to change pretty soon. High pressure through Wednesday is what's sending our temperatures up, but it kind of continues to move through, and that doesn't really park overhead. Just kind of a one-day increase in temps into the 90s, and then it continues on its way. By the start of the weekend, Friday into Saturday, this little low-pressure system's just passing to the north. Could bring us a few clouds, especially in the high country. But the other thing is those cooler temperatures right in the low 80s, near normal for the time of year for Friday. And then we'll see a warming trend through the rest of the holiday weekend, back into the mid to upper 80s. At some point Monday or Tuesday, high pressure is going to start to set up over the Great Basin, and this is going to increase our temperatures. By the time we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures likely into the 90s, if not the mid 90s. But look what happens towards the end of May, once it gets to about Thursday, Friday, Saturday. High pressure just sits overhead, and this will be a strong high pressure, so it's going to build, right? That temperature is going to really start to climb. And I say this because we could be looking at our first triple-digit days by the end of the month. Now, Keep in mind, we're still talking about something that's 9, 10, 11, 12 days away at this point, right? But I am just going to give you a quick glance as we look towards next week, May 28th through about June 1st. I'm especially watching Friday and Saturday because we could have our first triple-digit days. There's actually pretty good model agreement across every model you look at that temperatures are going to peak right near 100. Some models are showing closer to 105, others are closer to maybe 97, 98. This is normal spread for being 10 days away, but what's important is all the models are showing that high pressure sitting overhead. All the models are picking up on this warming trend with some very high early season heat right near 100 degrees right around the end of May, start of June. So again, just something to keep in mind, especially as we start looking out towards about May 30th, May 31st or so, right into June 1st. Those are going to be those days with the best chance currently, as things stand, of reaching at least 100 degrees. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this, but no weather impact alerts. It's too far away. Just something to be mindful of. Late next week, May 29th through about June 1st, high temperatures near 100 degrees as high pressure does look to build in. And I will reiterate, it is just something to watch for now. If you have plans for that final weekend in May, the first couple days of June, and they're outdoors or you're going to be outdoors for an extended period, maybe just reconsider those. But it's still 10 days away, right? We got to get through the long holiday weekend first. One other thing I do want to mention before I let you go is that the season is changing. We're moving from spring to summer. Not only our first triple-digit days in the 10-day, but also we're watching this little area off the southern coast of Mexico for potential tropical development. Doesn't really have any impact here to California. The reason I bring this up, it's just another sign that the seasons are changing. So as we look at the next 3 days back here in the valley, mid-90s or so on Wednesday, that's the peak of the heat. Then temperatures drop as we have that little system passing to the north. We'll be in those low 80s, very seasonal, by the time we get to about Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, temperatures do jump back up into the mid to upper 80s. There's a little bit of model fluctuation there, but still, it's going to be reasonable and very seasonal for the time of year. Then somewhere around Monday, Tuesday, that high pressure really starts to build in. Temperatures start to climb. Wednesday into Thursday, we could see another big jump. Temperatures going from the upper 80s into the 90s. And again, right near the end of next week, near the end of May is what I'm really watching for that potential high heat with temperatures near 100 degrees, if not a little warmer than that. Look how many days away that is. I want to reiterate, this isn't happening tomorrow, just something that we're keeping an eye on as we head towards the final few days of May. Just be sure to keep it tuned to ABC 10+. We've got a weather playlist there with extended forecasts, explainers, and weather and climate specials. You can find that on the ABC 10+ app under the weather playlist. Thanks for watching.